In our last lesson, we learned about using files in our Python programs, like this users.txt file, right? We created it. We had our user write names to the file and then save those changes by closing the file. Okay, we're going to now look at using a module called Pickle in order to open, write, and read more complicated data in a file than just a string. Okay, so let's go ahead and come back up here, and we're going to want to import the Pickle module. So we're going to import Pickle. Now, Pickle will allow us to write things like a dictionary, right? Rather than just a string, maybe we have a locations dictionary that includes things like picnic spot, okay, and then I might have in my picnic spot a tuple with coordinates to where I picnic in my Minecraft world. So let's fly up and we'll come look for some grassy area where we might be more picnic friendly than this frozen tundra that we're on. So this looks like a good picnic spot. Okay, so we'll pop down here. We'll get our coordinate. That's negative 45.4, 38.0, and 10.5. Okay, then a comma, and then next key that we'll have in our dictionary, we'll make that the ski slope. So let's come back over to Minecraft and we'll fly up over a little bit and drop down. Looks like a good place to ski. So let's come back over here to our rainbow structures that we created. Okay, and we'll grab that coordinate. So my ski slope is 2.7, 33.0, oh, I got too many decimal places there, 33.0 and 67.7. Okay, then a comma, and then we'll have, let's see what else fun we can find in our world. So we'll come up here. And there's our cube that we created last time. So let's go ahead and call that our cube location, and that's at 46.3, 10.0, and 76.1. Okay, and those will be the three locations that we have from our Minecraft world saved in a dictionary. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a file. So we'll call this location file. And we're going to open location file.txt. Okay, and then our write permissions are going to be WB. And in the Pickle file, or Pickle module, WB writes data to the file using a special format. That's what the B is for, using a special format that the Pickle module requires. Okay, the dump function writes to the file. So once we open the file, then we're going to do pickle.dump, and then we're going to put the data that we want, which is the dictionary called locations, and then the name of the file that we want to dump that information in, and that's the location file. Okay, so we've written now to the file. Now let's see what is in the file. So we opened it, which created it using the WB, the write permissions. Now we're going to change the W to an R for read permissions. And that's going to open the file and let us read its contents. Okay, so let's make sure that we have something in here to read. So we'll do world.post to chat, and let's look for the locations dictionary. Okay, so that should be excuse me, in that file. And oh wait, before we can post it to chat, we have to load that information. So let's say that locations is equal to pickle.load, and then the name of our file, which is location file. Okay, that loads the information, which was the dictionary that we saved into that file. It's going to load it and store it as, let's call it locations 2, so it doesn't get mixed up with locations 1. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and do our post to chat. So world.post to chat, and we're going to look at the locations 2 dictionary. That's the one we just loaded from the file. And let's look for the coordinates of our cube. Okay, so we'll come up here and run. And there's the coordinates of our cube, 46, 10.0, 76.1. Okay, now Pickle, remember that B means that it's in a different format than what we're used to seeing. So if we come over to our documents, we'll look at that file, which was location file.txt, right? 143 bytes are in it. If we open that in Notepad, notice we get an error that says the document was not UTF-8 valid, right? It's a different encoding than what a regular text file would hold. So we can't open it to see what's in it, but it's storing, because we can see 143 bytes, and we were able to retrieve that data with the load command, right? We know that that data is in that file and can be accessed the way that we expect. You know, when you're importing modules, okay, like we did up here with import pickle, if I don't want to have to do the dot operator with the pickle module every time I want to do like the dump function or the load function, for instance, instead of just import pickle, okay, I could say from pickle import, and then I'm going to import the dump and the load functions from that module, that pickle module. So now in my Python code, I don't need to use pickle dot anymore, right? I can just call those functions, the dump function and the load function, directly, and because they were brought in from the pickle module with the import statement, right now I can use them without the dot operator. You can, if you wanted to import all the functions from a module, okay, then instead of listing them individually, you can put an asterisk, and that will do the same thing. So any function that I want to use from the pickle module, like dump or load, now I don't have to type pickle dot, right, because this asterisk brings in the entire library of functions associated with that particular module. Okay, now another thing that you can do is say from pickle import, I can change this to say import pickle as P. So now I can say p.dump instead of pickle.dump, or p.load, right, instead of pickle.load. These are all ways that you can customize your import statements to make it a little easier for yourself to use the functions associated with that library for the module that you brought in.